Welcome to AVP's Orville Chats. My name is AVP. Stay tuned for today's episode. Episode 6, A Happy Refrain, Music and Its Role on Orville. Hey guys, it's AVP back with another podcast episode for you all. This one is about the role of the music on Orville series. As many of us know, Seth McFarlane, the creator of the series of Orville, is a huge music lover, including music from movies, musicals, and even TV series, plus and even some commercials on the Orville series. We've been introduced to many jazzy tunes. Some may not be as familiar as others, but it's still pretty cool to hear them. We've even gotten some unexpected twists, like Barry Manilow and Dolly Parton music. In case you didn't know, there are two amazing musical instrumental soundtracks that are done for these series. I myself highly recommend them. If you don't own these two amazing soundtracks, I highly recommend that you guys get them. I own both of these amazing soundtracks, and they are worth every single listen. While they may not have the actual vocals of some of these adaptations of some of the covers that were done, it's still really cool to hear the instrumentation of these covers. For example, it's really cool to hear the instrumentals when there's the battle scenes, because when you hear those scenes, it really gets your heart pumping, it gets you excited, it gets you feeling in the mood like, oh no, are they going to get out of the danger? Are they going to be able to survive? So, like I said, even though we don't hear any actual vocals, say of 9 to 5, or the song that Gordon sings with Laura, it's really cool to hear the other music in the background. So we've also actually gotten some little bitty karaoke bits. We got one from Kelly, who was doing a little bit of the song Any Way You Want It, and that's from Journey. We actually got a little teaser that maybe Borders will sing for us one of these days. My Heart Will Go On from the beloved Titanic movie, so who knows, maybe someday in the future we'll get to hear some more of him singing without interruption. Who knows? We don't know. But yes, the music in this series is so amazing. I mean, the music in itself is like a character in many ways, because it really gets us into the mood. It gets us wondering, is it going to be full of excitement? Is it going to be full of drama? Is it going to be something that's going to be in between? So like I said, in many ways, the music itself is a character. I mean, we may not think of the music as being a character, but to me, I would say yes, the music in this series is a character in its own right. And so here's some really cool things about Seth MacFarlane introducing us to this music in this series. Some of us may have thought that all jazzy music is from the 30s, the 40s. But here's the thing, Seth MacFarlane has shown us that, you know what, no, jazzy music can even be modern, and we can even enjoy it in the 25th century. I mean, when we had the episode, A Happy Refrain, basically we got introduced to a symphony orchestra where they were performing many familiar songs. One was from Singing in the Rain, and that was really cool to hear that instrumentation done by a live orchestra. I believe, if I remember correctly, that this is the actual orchestra that does play for the many soundtracks that we hear. But I could be mistaken on that. But like I said, it's really cool to see so many talented musicians on this show who are willing to lend their services and say, hey, here's music that you may have never heard. I myself have heard a lot of music over the years, but it was kind of cool to hear some of these jazzy tunes that I had forgotten about, but also to hear ones that I had heard before in a fresh new way. For example, I'd heard the song As Time Goes By or White Cliffs of Dover. I've heard those songs many times in my life, but it's really cool to hear them in a fresh new way, that it felt like it was hearing it for the first time for me. So like I said, I would highly recommend that if you get a chance to listen to the soundtrack without watching the series, just listen to the music. Like I said, the music itself tells a story that will get your heart pumping. It'll left you wondering, are they going to survive? Is there going to be drama? Like I said, that's the thing that's so cool about this series. And it's really great because we also get little tidbits of Seth MacFarlane's love for musicals, because we got a little bit in one of the episodes where we got the Sound of Music clip where we hear the song I Am 16 Going on 17. So that was really cool. And also in the episode with Talea, we got the episode Nothing Excepting the Fishes, we get a little bit of that song sung by Yul Brynner. And it's from the musical The King and I, in case you guys didn't know. But that's really, really cool to hear that little bit of a song from that movie played in the played in the television series. So like I said, the music itself, it's not one specific type all the time, because like I said, each time we watch the series, we get something fresh and new. We get some pop versions of certain songs. Sometimes we get Billy Joel. Sometimes we even get Dolly Parton. I myself had heard the song 9 to 5, but then for it to be used as like a battle war song for the female Mocclans, that was really, really funny. But it was also kind of cool knowing that, this pop familiar song that we may have heard many, many times, we've never thought of it in that fresh new way. So that's the thing that's so cool about that. And we also get to see little clips of like when Dan is in the elevator, he makes the mention, hey, can we get some elevator kind of music to get the elevator feeling like it's not so elevator type all the time? Because here's the time, when we go into an elevator, we normally don't have music in the background, and when we do, it's kind of dull, it's kind of meh. But the thing is, when we hear the music that Dan has chosen, it's kind of cool that he's picked some fresh songs out there. Yes, Kelly loses her cool a little bit with Dan, but it is kind of cool that Dan's got so much in his library that he says, hey, I like this song, I like that song. And so, like I said, for me, as a music lover, it's really great to see so many familiar songs and certain songs I had not heard to be played in a fresh new way. Because like I said, I've heard Billy Joel, I've heard the musical songs, but the thing is to hear them done and they're being introduced to the 25th century, that is kind of cool. So that's the thing that's so masterful about this series, that these musical pieces that we may have not otherwise been introduced to, because how many people can say they like World War II type music or jazzy pieces such as Time Goes By? I mean, none of us are going to say I like jazzy music most of the time, because we rather say, I like this kind of music, I like that kind of music. But then to hear it done in a fresh new way, it doesn't feel like it's jazz. We just say, I love the music. And you know what? It's cool that this series is introducing us to fresh new music. Maybe it's not always vocal. My theory is the why we don't get that many vocal ones is because of copyright infringement. Because these copyright laws are so strict about that, and saying, no, you cannot play this music, you don't have the rights to it. So I'm glad that Seth MacFarlane comes up with instrumentations of these well-known hits like As Time Goes By, or White Cliffs of Dover, or even in Singing in the Rain. Now here's one thing that's really cool about the song Singing in the Rain, in case you guys didn't know. Singing in the Rain is actually a musical, yes, but there was also a thing called BBC Proms, where basically over in England they would have these concerts where they would introduce people to various music, and unfortunately the BBC Proms stopped it, but they would get some of these pretty well-known people to sing some of these songs from different musicals, certain movies, certain things from eras long ago. Well, here's the cool thing about it. Seth MacFarlane actually himself performed at least twice on the BBC Proms, and one of the things he did was sing the song Singing in the Rain in one of those times he appeared on that. So I kind of was expecting him to do that when he was playing the music Singing in the Rain in the episode A Happy Refrain. No, we didn't get him singing it, but we got at least 2 adaptations of that piece. We got an instrumental version, and we also got a vocal version. No, it's not done by Seth MacFarlane, but that's still pretty cool in its way. Another thing that's really cool about this series is Gordon Malloy, who's played masterfully by the Scott Grimes. Now, here's the thing. Scott Grimes, I was introduced to when he was in American Dad. And I knew Scott Grimes could sing, but I wasn't sure how they were going to do his singing on Orville if they did. But when they started introducing his singing to the Orville series, it was really, really cool that he was singing certain songs that I had not heard, such as the song Goodbye that he says when he says goodbye to Isaac by Air Supply, or the song that he sings with Laura. That's really, really cool that we're getting to hear Scott Grimes' singing voice in a fresh new way, because some of you may not have heard his singing voice on American Dad. Like I said, that's really cool and special to hear his voice on there. Another thing that's cool about the Orville series is at least 2 to 3 of the crew members, meaning the cast that is, Seth MacFarlane, Scott Grimes, and even Jay Lee, and even Kai Warner all play the piano. That is so cool that we have at least 4 of our main cast who all play the piano, and it's so cool to know that they do it all in fresh new ways. Jay Lee himself does many Instagram concerts where he's playing the piano for us. He plays a lot of the classics such as Chopin, he plays Handel, Mozart, all of that. While Scott Grimes does a little bit more pop type songs, such as ones that like I mentioned earlier. Kai, I believe, is still learning how to play the music on the piano. And Seth MacFarlane, he plays a lot of musical songs. He also plays music from Burt Bacharach and Hal David. So that's really cool to hear all 4 different styles of playing on the piano done great. Now, will we get more of these piano playing in the upcoming season? I really, really, really hope we do. Because like I said, the music is so well done. It's so beautifully done. I mean, Joe McNeely and Walter Murphy, who help with making the music on these series, it's so great. Even Bruce Broughton, who helps compose the music on here. I was not aware that I had heard his music before. Now, in case you guys didn't know, Bruce had done music for certain Disney movies, believe it or not. He did the music for the movie The Rescuers Down Under. Now, I'd heard the movie many, many times and seen it and listened to the music, and it's got a lot of the Australian outback kind of music. But when you listen closely and you look over the soundtrack, that's Bruce. That's Bruce playing that music. He's the one that composed that music that I love so much growing up from The Rescuers Down Under. Joe McNeely does a lot of music with Seth MacFarlane, where they are basically doing concerts together, but they also do a lot of composing together on the Orville series specifically. Walter Murphy doesn't do too much with the Orville series with music all the time, but he does a lot of stuff with Seth MacFarlane on the Family Guy series. So like I said, the music in itself is so well done. Yes, we would love to see a lot of vocals done by some of our main cast. Will we? I don't know. But it's like kind of a guessing game, saying what kind of music is going to show up next on the Orville. Because like I said, I was not expecting to see Dolly Parton music on an Orville episode. And now most of us now make it as kind of a joke whenever we hear the song 9 to 5. We always make the crack and say, oh, there goes Dolly. And now she's forever known on the Orville series because of her music. Or for me, I myself sometimes will go online, and some of my friends will do karaoke nights. And one of the songs that I do now, not all the time, but every once in a while, I will do the song She's Always a Woman to Me. And I can thank Seth MacFarlane's series, Orville, for introducing me to that song that I had heard many, many times. But now I can do it in a fresh new way and say, thank you, Seth. Because of you, I can sing the song Always a Woman by Billy Joel. So, like I said, the Orville music is so well done. The first season was great, but the second season was even better. This third season, I think, is going to even top seasons 1 and 2 because it's so, so great. I highly recommend you guys to get a copy of it, because if you can, please do so, because you will not be disappointed. Yes, there's not vocals. That's a little disappointing, a little bit, yeah, but you know what? You're willing to let that go, because once you start listening to the music, you're immediately immersed into the stories. You're immediately immersed into the background. You really catch on to what's going on, even without the vocals. because when I put on the Orville soundtrack and I listen to it, you know what? I don't feel like I'm where I am. I feel like I'm really transported on that ship once again. And I don't think about anything else that's going on. I just think about the music. I just think about the story it's telling. I think about how it's just, like I said, it's a silent character, so to speak, without having any speaking lines, but it does so much. And it's however long that the episode shows that music clip, or however long it plays it, it's just that great. It's highly recommended by me. I mean, one thing that I would love to see for the upcoming season, which a lot of us tease about, I would really love to see more karaoke, because karaoke is such a fun thing, and you get to learn a lot about these characters when people do karaoke. You learn a little bit about them, and they find out their style, because when I myself do karaoke with some of my friends, that I have seen that certain ones have a certain style where they sing certain ones all the time. And I guess I'm the same way myself, because I will sing maybe say Air Supply, or I'll sing Billy Joel, or I'll sing songs from different musicals. That's the thing that's so great about this Orville series, that we hear little musical themes that could be for Ed, or certain musical themes that apply to Kelly, or Jay Lee's character Lamar, or Gordon. Like I said, the music is so great that it doesn't come across overly harsh. It's not overly heavy with certain musical instruments. It's not too heavy with the saxophones. It's not too heavy with the trumpets. It's not too heavy with the violins. It's just the right blend of all the music that's played into it. I wish I could play some of the music for you guys, but the thing is, it's copyrighted protected, and to avoid copyright things, I have to make sure that all my music, even for this podcast, is copyrighted safe, that it doesn't belong to anybody else but me and myself. And so, as much as I would love to share the music with you guys, I cannot do that for you guys. So I just recommend that you guys check out the soundtracks if you can, because certain TV shows and certain movies are very iconic for their music. And like I said, Orville's music is no exception to this. They do it great. I highly recommend you guys do it. So if you can, make sure you get a copy of the soundtrack. I mean, one thing that's really cool about the music in here, that Seth MacFarlane has introduced us to a lot of music over the years, even when he was on Family Guy, that he would come up with fresh original pieces such as Prom Night, Dumpster Baby, or A Bag of Weed, or Mr. Booze, which is loosely based on another song called Mr. Booze that was in a musical with Bing Crosby. But the thing is that we haven't gotten really too many original vocal versions of certain songs in the Orville series. But here's my theory. I think it's only a matter of time until we do get some original fresh vocal pieces. It may not be in silly voices like some of us think it's going to be. I think it's probably going to be in some of these characters' actual singing voices. And it's going to throw us off going like, oh, I didn't know this person could sing. Like I said, that's the thing that's so fresh and new about this series, that we're always introduced to fresh new things, and even music is no exception to this. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning more about the music from the series, how it itself is a secondary character in many, many ways. Maybe it's not in the credits, but the thing is, the music itself is a character. It tells a story. It tells what's going to happen. It holds us in suspense, wondering, are they going to get out of this battle? Are they going to get out of this hostage situation? Are they going to be able to have a lighthearted moment on the bridge? Are they going to have a moment that's going to keep us happy and reflective, wondering, is it going to be turning out all right in the end for everybody? We never know. That's the thing that's so cool about the series with the music, that it's just, you never know. So for the next episode, which is going to be episode 7, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a teaser about what to expect. Episode 7 is basically just where I'm going to be saying, is Ed Mercer autobiographical to Seth MacFarlane? Or are they one and the same? Or are they two different things altogether? I don't want to spoil it too much, but I will say this much, that you may be surprised to learn that there may be more to Seth MacFarlane than you first realize. That may be a lot like our primary captain, Captain Ed Mercer. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode about the music on the Orville series, how it's very special, and how I highly recommend you guys get the soundtrack if you can. But if you guys can't get the soundtrack, at least listen to it online and say, okay, yeah, it's worth listening to. Well, you guys have a good rest of your evening, day, whatever. And remember, make sure that the universe is your limit on what you're going to do. This is your Orville sister, friend, community team member, and special friend, AVP, signing off for now. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and be blessed. Bye.